Another significant feature of update panel is trigger, which can give you control how update panel actually initiate asynchronous post back. In this demo, I got sample page here. I'm gonna use this to show you how you can use trigger collection of update panel to sort of describe actually post back model that you want on your page. Now sort of motivate why you might want to include external control as a asynchronous trigger for your update panel. I got some exact example here where I have a page with update panel. Inside the update panel I have a couple of buttons. We talk about what I want to do with this button in a movement. Then I got bunch of other content in between update panel and get another control. In this particular scenario, what I want this button down here to initiate a asynchronous post back for this update panel. As I mentioned here, you have two options here. One is get extend your update panel, just include everything between the original update panel and the button that you want to initiate a post back, but that gonna be a less sufficient you probably want, because you're gonna have to include all of this content which is essentially static, not something we need to have go back for the update. So this is what trigger enabled. They give the ability to specify external control outside of the update panel as a asynchronous post back. So here is the page markup and here is the button that I want to wire up, and what I done is specified that button in the trigger collection of my update panel. So here is our trigger for this update panel, and I specified as a asynchronous post back trigger. So when I run these things, this button should be now perform asynchronous post back and should be updating content of this update panel. So let's run this page. So look at it, when I click on this button, I did not get the post back, but I did get the update on this update panel. You can see here I did not get the post back. Other things I want to show you is, recall that all control within update panel are by default asynchronous post back triggers themselves. So both of these buttons within this update panel will by default initiate asynchronous post back for this update panel. If you want to change that, if you want one of these buttons to perform a traditional synchronized post back, which I indicated here in button label control, then list that control here in this trigger. Instead of specifying asynchronous postback trigger, here you need to specify a postback trigger. Now this button initiate a traditional postback. Just for comparison, I also include a standard button which perform a traditional asynchronous postback. Notice I have not listed this button in our trigger collection. I am just expecting the default behavior, all child control of the update panel performing asynchronous post back. Now let's run this page one more time. If I click on asynchronous post back button, it will not generate a post back. You can see here. If I click on synchronize post back button, now actually did a full refresh of page and generate a traditional post back. You can see here, and this button not generate any post back, and this button is did a full refresh the page. Okay, one of it I thought to share with you with update panel is nesting update panel. So just first let me create a one web form, and here I'm gonna paste some code. It's kind of interesting to sort of think about what should happen if you have a update panel inside the other update panel. Here, both of which have been marked with update mode of conditional, so it should only update a content of that particular update panel. Here you can see update mode is conditional and update mode is conditional, and each of these update corresponding date time, so we can see which one get updated. So update panel first update this date time, and update panel 2 update this date and time. Now let's run this page. Let's click on calendar, which will generate asynchronous post back from an interior panel. If I click on it, notice interior panel updated but the exterior panel was not. Here you can see. And now let's click on outer panel. Notice here that implicitly update interior panel as well. So when I click on outer panel, it's update of both panel, which kind of makes sense because outer panel contain interior panel as part of his content. So fully refresh outer panel, you really have to update in interior panel as well, and that is the default behavior.